That's right, folks. The fix is in. Why? Let's get into it. Hi, I'm Nick. This is 10 Minutes with Nick. And first and foremost, I want to say to the people who commented on all of my videos yesterday, thank you, sincerely. Even if the conversations were disagreements, I enjoyed them immensely. I enjoyed talking with you. Feel free to continue to comment on all my videos and like and subscribe if you happen to like what I'm saying. If you don't happen to like what I'm saying, I'm a delight. I don't know what to tell you. Anyways, the main crux of all the arguments yesterday about the catch in the Bills-Broncos game, and I am not going to call it a turnover, it's a catch by the rule and the way it was interpreted. Most of it came down to everybody believing that they had the correct interpretation of the rule. So let's actually go to the rule, shall we? I'm on the NFL operations website, which has all of the NFL play rules therein. So in section 1, forward pass. Article 3, completed or intercepted pass. Player who makes a catch may advance the ball. A forward pass is complete by the offense or intercepted by the defense in the field of play at the sideline or in the end zone if a player who is in bounds, A, secures control of the ball in his hands or arms prior to the ball touching the ground, B, touches the ground in bounds with both feet or with any part of his body other than his hands, and this is the part that gets people. C, after A and B having been fulfilled, clearly performs any act common to the game, e.g. extend the ball forward, take an additional step, tuck the ball away and turn upfield or avoid or ward off an opponent, or he maintains control of the ball long enough to do so. Now there are notes on this as well. Movement of the ball does not automatically result in loss of control. If a player That's note 1. Note 2. If a player who satisfied A and B but has not satisfied C contacts the ground and loses control of the ball, it is an incomplete pass if the ball hits the ground before he regains control or if he regains control out of bounds. 3. A receiver is considered a player in a defenseless posture throughout the entire process of the catch and until the player is capable of avoiding or warding off the impending contact of an opponent. 4. If a pass is caught simultaneously by two eligible opponents, and both players retain it, the ball belongs to the passers. It is not a simultaneous catch if a player gains control first and an opponent subsequently gains joint control. If the ball is muffed after simultaneous touching by two such players, all the players of the passing team become eligible to catch the loose ball. That's based on the sort of arcane rule of the fumble rule. Like, if you fumble the ball, technically there's only one person on the offense who can recover it. It's a whole thing. If a player who is in control of the ball is held up and carried out of bounds by an opponent before both feet or any part of his body other than his hand touches the ground in bounds, it is a complete/intercepted pass, depending on who's doing the controlling. It is not necessary for the player to maintain control of the ball when he lands out of bounds. If any part of the foot hits out of bounds during the normal continuous motion of taking a step, then the foot is out of a player. The foot is out of a player. Oh, no, that's meant to be if. If a player is in bounds, if he drags his foot, or if there's a delay between the heel or toe heel touching the ground. Okay, then there's the incomplete pass, which is not relevant here. Okay, I want to say something about that rule. I'm an attorney, duly licensed with no small amount of skill as an attorney. Football is a game. It is a child's game. Quite literally a child's game played by men. What I just read to you, there are regulators in state bureaucracy that would blush at the complexity of that rule. The complexity of that rule. And we're expecting referees to interpret that rule based on what they're seeing in real time. No, that is why we go to the slow motion replay. And Gene Steratore, get out of here with we shouldn't really look at these things in slow motion. We look at everything in slow motion. We review things in slow motion all the time. It's how you decide if something actually happened or didn't happen. Because when you see something in fast motion, these guys are moving so fast, you don't actually see what happened. Now, people have come at me after me with the Article 3C is the question here. Because it is undisputed that Brandon Cooks secured control of the ball and touches the ground with things that are not his hands. He touches down with his knee, butt, his 2 feet, whatever you want to call it. Now, the question is the act common to the game. Guys, act common to the game. That is the most nebulous little piece of legal skullduggery I have ever seen. Okay? Act common to the game. What makes me mad about this is watching the New England and Los Angeles games on Sunday. In the New England game, a Texans wide receiver had the same situation. Bang, 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 bang. Guess what they called it? Catch. And they took their sweet, sweet time reviewing it. In the Los Angeles game, Davante Adams of the Los Angeles Rams had the same situation. Don't take my word for it. A Bills fan. Take Barstool president David Portnoy's word for it. A noted not Buffalo fan. He likes Josh Allen, but he's not a huge Buffalo guy, especially now since the Patriots are actually good. Brandon Cooks made an act common to the game. When he had the ball up on his shoulders and he brought it down to his stomach, that is tucking the ball away. That is an act common to the game. I don't know if you've ever played any sort of sport, but that is an act common to the game. The exact same act common to the game made by one, I don't know, Davante Adams. But maybe the problem isn't so much that they have this rule. Maybe the problem is more so that the rule is so gray and mushy and hard to interpret in any given moment that it leaves the door open for, as I said yesterday, it leaves the door open for Vegas to call in and say, I just don't know. I don't know if he made an act common to the game. Because Vegas can't say, well, he clearly didn't get 2 feet down. Well, he didn't get hands on the ball. But Vegas can say, act common to the game. I don't know if that's common to the game, I don't know. Maybe tucking the ball away isn't common to the game, even though it's listed in the rule. Did he really tuck it away? Did he tuck it away? It's like, ref, I don't know that he did that. I don't know that he did that, ref, and I got lots of money on the money line, so why don't you go ahead and just say it wasn't common to the game and do it quick, move on from it. In a contest of who are the better athletes, it shouldn't come down to a rule that requires Supreme Court intervention to understand. I'm being dramatic, but you understand where I'm getting at. Look, to the people who are talking about the Bills' turnovers, you are absolutely correct. The Bills committed too many turnovers. They shot themselves in the foot a bunch of times, and especially on some of the turnovers, credit to the Broncos' defense. Everybody needs to understand that I'm not saying anything against the Broncos with my statements here. The Broncos played their asses off. The Bills played their asses off. And like the James Cook fumble, I still watch that. If I was a coach, I'd use that tackle the guy made as teach tape for my players because he comes in, he doesn't lower his helmet at the player, he lowers his helmet at the ball, and he puts a helmet right on the ball, pops it right out of James Cook's hand. James Cook apostrophe S's. Beautiful, beautiful tackle. And James Cook is not a guy who fumbles a lot. There was one of the Josh Allen fumbles where the guy came in off the blind side. He came in screaming off the blind side, beat a chip block, beat Deion Dawkins around the left side, came in on Josh's blind side, and beautiful hand up at the ball, slapped Josh's hand out of the way. Beautiful, beautiful sack. Again, that is teach tape. You cannot do it better than that. The interception where Josh was trying to throw a deep ball to Curtis Samuel, and the safety, he baited Josh. He was waiting for the ball, but he did this beautiful close on the ball where Curtis Samuel looked open. To my eye, when you're the quarterback throwing that pass, Curtis Samuel is open and you're throwing it to the spot for Curtis to go get it. Josh underthrew it a little bit, but the safety did a beautiful, beautiful job of closing on that ball and shutting that window as the ball arrived and coming up with the beautiful job by the Broncos defense in that regard. I get mad when the refs are affecting the game at the end of the game. Again, both teams playing their asses off, so let the players decide who's going to win or lose. The 2 pass interference calls at the end. Nobody's arguing that they quote-unquote couldn't be called. But the refs had set the standard during the game. They were letting the players play these plays out. Of the 2 of them, the Tre'Davious White interference is the better call, meaning that I can see what the refs were seeing. Again, I just don't like it when the refs have set the standard the entire game and then in overtime of the game, they change the standard. That's what makes me mad. And yeah, to the people who are like, I'm mad that the Bills lost. Yeah, I'm mad that the Bills lost. And to the people who are saying you're still talking about this, it happened 2 days ago, but when I made the video yesterday, it happened yesterday. I'm allowed to be mad. I'm allowed to still be mad. If ESPN is going to talk about it all week, I'm certainly allowed to talk about it all week. If you don't like the fact that I'm talking about it, don't watch. That's okay. You're allowed to watch what you'd like to watch. If you don't want to watch me, I get it. I'm tall. I'm good looking. You don't have to want to watch a good looking tall guy. If you're short, just say so. That was mean. I'm sorry, guys. Anyways, that's what I think about the whole thing. That's my breakdown of the whole bit. You know, if these videos get more comments, I'll continue to break it down and continue to break down my opinion as much as I can for you and try to do so in a fair and honest way. If it's not fair and honest, well, frankly, it's my show, and frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Subscribe, or don't, I guess, but subscribe, please. I would love to talk to you more about more topics that are not just football. Anyways, I'm Nick. This is 10 Minutes with Nick. Have a great day.